Well, hello and welcome to the channel. Bit of an unplanned journey, bit of an unplanned video, so I'm not actually sure what I'm going to be covering. I suppose I'll take a look back on the past 12 months. I'm sure it's fair to say that everybody has had a very unusual past 12 months with the lockdown. It's curtailed a lot of the normal activities that we would all be doing, and especially myself. When I look back on the places I've been and how much I've actually been out on the bike, it's very far and few between. I recently came back from the Middle East. I work out there for my job, and straight away as soon as I arrive in the country I have to do 10 days self-isolation. I only get about 3.5 weeks at home, so it really prevents me from getting as much footage up on the channel as I would like, so I do apologise about that. So let's take a look at a review of the past 12 months for the channel. So I suppose I should start off with all the places I've been to and what really sticks out as memorable journeys. And I have to say, number one on the list would be the tour I did of Muller Kintyre. For many different reasons. I think obviously the views and the countryside that you go through, no matter what time of year you go, it's not going to disappoint. From a motorcyclist point of view, the roads were amazing. Some of the most difficult, most technical but enjoyable roads that I've ridden on in this country. Absolutely amazing. If you're into your sports bikes and going fast, then those roads are not for you. But if you're into your adventure biking, then yeah, definitely. They're twisty, they're up and down, the road surface can change it in a heartbeat. Never a dull moment. You never get to take your eyes off some of those roads. Absolutely highly recommended. The other things that made that journey memorable, again with a lot of journeys, it's when things go wrong. The weather was absolutely horrendous. I mean, it was some of the worst rain I have ever ridden in anywhere. I mean, it was that bad. The storm was such a bad storm that one of the major A roads, the trunk roads that leads up into Scotland, it actually got washed away off the side of a mountainside. The mountainside collapsed and the road was just totally destroyed. That's how bad it was. So again, that made it really memorable, and it may sound a funny thing to say, but it was enjoyable. It was enjoyable riding in those extreme conditions. It's probably not so enjoyable at the time, but looking back on it, yeah, it was a great trip. Even the accommodation, that little hobbit hut that I hired, if you're not sure what I mean about that, just go on the channel and watch the video, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But everything about that journey, the whole point of the journey was to go out and find the beach where they filmed the Paul McCartney Wings Muller Kintyre video. And again, I found the video, but I found the beach, but I just could not get access to it. I couldn't find the access. So that one has stuck out in my mind, and I will be returning there as soon as lockdown allows it, and I will find that beach and we'll start that video all over again. I suppose another journey that I did was the Barnard Castle journey, the Lake District journey. Again, two absolutely fantastic trips, again just for the road and just the amazing countryside and views that you go through. I'll just need to get past Mr. White Van Man. I left that a little bit late whittling on. But yeah, again, just absolutely fantastic roads for motorcyclists and amazing views. So I think those are the 3 videos, you know, trips that I did that I actually enjoyed the most. I have to say also that I did a trip down the northeast coast where I visited all the seaside towns, and again, that was really enjoyable. It was glorious weather. But I'm easily pleased, you know, if I'm out on my motorbike, they're all good trips for me, so it's a bit difficult for me to say, and especially because the trips I've done this year have been so limited. I haven't really done, apart from the Mull of Kintyre, I haven't done any touring. They've all been day trips. So yeah, really looking forward to this lockdown getting left and being able to get out on the bike and do some more touring. What other things can we look back on? I suppose we should look back on some of the stuff that I've bought and trialled, and I'm still trialling. We'll start with clothing. The things that stick out in my mind at the moment straight off are the Revit Discovery H2 O boots. Wow, what boots! They're expensive, but I tell you what, they are the best boots I've ever owned in my life. They are super comfy, they are super easy to get on and off. The Bowie system where you just pop a little wheel and you twist the wheel to tighten them up and loosen them. Construction wise, second to none, absolutely second to none. I have absolutely no doubt that if I came off my bike that these would protect my lower limbs. And waterproofness, I have to say, you know, again, I wore them, I think it was the first time I wore them on that Mull of Kintyre journey, and you know, worst rain I've ever ridden in for 3 days, and they didn't let a drop of water in. I was riding through winter, they're super warm. I don't put big woolly socks on or anything, I just use normal cotton socks that I'd wear and a pair of trainers. Never had cold feet. Yeah, the Revit Discovery H2O boots, highly recommended. The other 2 items that stick in my mind are the Gerbing heated jacket that I bought. I've worn that. I haven't got it on today because it's quite warm. In fact, it's the first time I've worn my Oxford suit for well, since I've had the richer Infinity Pro suit that I bought. Yeah, and the Gerbing heated jacket, it's so easy to just plug. People say, oh, isn't it a faff, isn't it to mess around having to plug it in and unplug it, and do you forget to unplug it? And I can honestly say that I don't. The cable that I plug in is on the side where my centre stand is, so I have to look down to put my centre stand down and I see it, and it just reminds me to unplug it. You get so used to doing it, it takes literally seconds, and oh, the benefits. On a freezing cold day you can ride all day in comfort. It's absolutely amazing. And the gloves that go with it as well. I did have a little problem that one of the cables, or both the cables, were a little bit short to join the gloves to the jacket. However, I just bought some of the extension cables and it solved the problem, and it's one of the best motorcycling items or accessories that I have ever bought. It's really highly recommended. If you do a lot of riding in the winter time, you need to get yourselves one of those jackets. It's well worth saving up for it and buying. Bringing me on, I mentioned the richer, or Richer, however you pronounce it, Infinity Pro suit. It's a laminated suit. I think I paid around about £500 for it at the time, which is quite a lot of money to spend on a suit in one terms, but in terms of a laminated suit, it's not that much money really, because they are very expensive. I have to say that it is an amazing suit. It kept me warm, it kept me dry. Again, I didn't wear any waterproofs at all when I was on the Mullican tyre trip, and it rained solid for 3 days, and it never let a drop of water in. And it's just so nice to be able to go out in a suit and not have to worry about taking waterproofs. And on top of that, it's so nice to be able to ride, and if it looks as though it's going to rain or it just starts with a light shower, you're always into your mind, should I stop straight away and put my waterproofs on? And then you look out and you think, well, it's only a shower, it most probably won't last that long, and it's just a pain in the neck making the decision, are you going to stop and interrupt your journey? With that Reacher suit, you don't have to bother, because if it rains, it rains. The suit will keep you dry, no need to stop. And also, with it being a laminate suit as well, the water shears off it. So with a Gore-Tex suit, you know, a good Gore-Tex suit will keep you dry. However, once that Gore-Tex suit gets wet, it's going to take hours and hours to dry, and you know, you can become cold because they get waterlogged. With that Reacher suit, no matter how heavy the rain is, within half an hour, 20 minutes of riding in the dry, it just dries itself off, and it's perfect. The only thing I would say about it, and it's not a massive thing, and I really wouldn't have picked up on it unless I was wearing this suit today. Wearing this Oxford suit, I found it's more comfortable to wear than the Reacher suit. And that's not to say that the Reacher suit is uncomfortable. It's not, it is comfortable. You can sit in it all day and it's not a problem. You will be comfy in that suit. It's just that this Oxford suit is more comfortable. It's a lot more supple. You've got a lot more free range of movement. But I must stress, don't let me put you off the Reacher suit thinking that that suit is uncomfortable to wear, because it's not. I'm just saying that the Oxford suit is more supple and pliable when you're wearing it. But the downside of the Oxford suit is it just lets water in. I mean, this Oxford suit for me, if it had the same waterproofness as the Reacher suit, this would be the better suit. But it doesn't. It looks like a sieve, so I'm afraid this is a fair weather suit for me from now on, this Oxford suit. If I look at some of the disappointing things I bought a Schubert C3 Pro. Was it Pro or the Basic? I can't remember, but I bought a Schubert C3 helmet, and you know, those helmets have rave reviews about being the quietest helmet on the market, the most comfortable. And to be honest with you, I haven't really got on with it. It's a flip front, the face flips up, the chin guard flips up, and I find it really, really difficult to close and lock the front of the helmet when you bring the helmet down, and it hurts my neck. I have to literally either push that hard or snap it down, slam it down that hard that it hurts my neck when I close the front of the helmet. I don't think the helmet is very comfortable for me personally when I'm wearing it. It hurts the top of my ears. I think the padding inside is extremely poor. And as for being quiet, to be honest, I've got this Ride Tour X helmet on now at the moment, and I would say this is a lot quieter helmet compared to that Schubert C3, and this helmet's got a pick on as well. I know that the Schubert is nowhere near as expensive as the Arai helmet that I have on at the moment, so it's a bit of an unfair comparison, but I was really taken aback because you will find it hard to find a bad review about that Schubert C3 helmet on the internet. Anyway, like, everybody raves about it, and I just don't get it at all. No, I'm not going to say anything else on it because I don't like being really down on products, but that is one of the products, and there aren't many, but that is one of the products I do regret buying. I would never buy another Schubert helmet after having that helmet. Other things that I've been disappointed with, this thing down here, I don't know if you can see, TPMS, tyre pressure monitoring system. It's a bit of a mixed bag, because the original one I bought a chip on it. It's about 30 quid, and the thing caught fire when it was charging. So I got rid of that, and I bought the unit that I have now, and it's worked absolutely amazing, and I've been really happy with it, and I've been telling everybody what an amazing thing it is, because it's great to be, you know, travelling along. You know, if the bike feels a little bit unsettled, you can immediately look down and look what your tyre pressures are and your tyre temperatures, and it is really nice and reassuring thing to have. And the same again, you know, every day when you get up before you go out on the bike, you can just take a quick look at what your tyre pressures are, and it saves a lot of aggro. And it's worked flawlessly right up until about 2 days ago. And about 2 days ago, the rear sensor on the rear wheel started alarming, and it was saying that the tyre pressure was low. Well, I checked the tyre pressure, and the tyre pressure wasn't low at all. So I thought, oh well, maybe it's the battery. Having looked at the instructions, there is a low battery warning that should illuminate, and that wasn't on. But I replaced the battery anyway, and again, still alarming and saying that it was a low pressure. I mean, it was out by about 8 psi. So I took it to bit. I put a new O-seal in it, thinking, well, perhaps the O-seal's gone, but no, it's just, the front one still works perfect, but the rear one doesn't work. It's completely useless now. So I'm a bit peeved. I've tried to get a replacement sensor for it, and I can't find anywhere that does the replacement sensors. So I've had to go out and buy a complete new unit. I think it's cost me about 65 quid. It's lasted about 12 months, so I'm paying 65 quid a year for the luxury of having the tyre pressure monitoring system. But it does peeve me, but it really is a great thing to have. So I've gone out and I've bit the bullet and I bought another one. So we'll see how long this new one lasts. The sensors that have come with the new one, it's the same make as the one I've got now, but the sensors do look different. The original sensors I had with the old unit that have gone wrong were plastic. These sensors that I bought now are actually alloy. So we'll wait and see how we manage with those, and see how long they last, whether they last any longer than the first one. Well, as I was saying, it has been a strange 12 months, and I suppose all we can do is look to the future. I don't know about everybody else, but I certainly cannot wait to get back out on the road, to get touring. I think we may be optimistic if we are thinking about going over to the EU or abroad. I'm not going to get political on this channel, but they are really making a mess of things on the COVID side of things, with the rollout of the inoculations and the vaccinations, and I honestly cannot see that we're going to get the chance to go over there, even though we have our own house in order. So I think we are going to be restricted to touring in this country again over the summer period, but I'm really not going to moan about that. There are some absolutely fantastic places to go touring on a motorcycle in this country, and I think we often overlook them, to be honest. So that's what I've got planned. Next time I come back, hopefully the lockdown restrictions will have been eased, and I can get on the bike and get out and do some long weekends, a week here, a week there, and get some really good videos and show you our beautiful country in the UK. today is just an absolutely brilliant day. There is not a whisper of a breeze. It's perfectly still. The temperature is nice and warm. I think I could get away without riding with the heated grips if I needed to. I've still got them on though, because I'm a bit of a wimp and I like my creature comforts now that I'm getting older. But it is an absolutely perfect day for riding a motorcycle. This Benelli, this is one of those bikes. I mean, I can remember in one of my past videos, just this little stretch of road here, I can remember the front wheel slightly washing away from me. I think it was a ride I had, the last ride before I returned to work, and it had been a mixed day where we'd had some sunshine and we'd had some rain, but it was a cold day as well. And the road surface and the temperatures were so changeable, because where you'd got the hollows and the parts of the road that were in shade, that they were very, very cold and slippy. However, you know, on stretches of road like we're on now, where the sun is shining on them, they were perfectly dry. And I was still getting to grips with this bike then. I'd had it quite a while, but you know, now that wouldn't take me by surprise the way it did, because I have just gelled so well with this bike now. I know every single vibration, every noise it makes. It's just a fabulous bike. I love it. Just look at this countryside, everybody. It is absolutely stunning today. Don't know what that place is over there, that big white house. But you know, normally I would overtake those cars in front, but I'm just not in a rush to get back. I'm just enjoying this journey as long as I can. One of the things that I would like to ask everybody out there, if you have any thoughts on videos that you would like me to shoot and film, please put them in the comments, you know, because it's very difficult, especially in these lockdown times, to think of subjects to cover and things that will be interesting. You know, a lot of videos on YouTube at the moment are basically maintenance videos, how to clean your chain, how to change your oil, and you know, I find the game a bit repetitive now, but you know, everybody's in the same boat. We can't get out on the bikes, so it's difficult to know what to film. And then also, when lockdown does ease and everybody can, you know, get a little bit of freedom to move around the country, please, if you have any thoughts on anything that you would like me to cover, please put it in the comments, and I will do my best to cover whatever you want me to cover. Okay, well, that sort of about rounds everything up, I think, for this video. I'd just like to say that, you know, everybody who's been watching the channel from the beginning, thank you for coming along on this journey with me. As I said, when I started out, I was totally new to it. I'd never done anything like this before. I know my videos aren't the best, but I hope that I am improving, I am learning as I go along, and I hope that's coming through on all the videos that I put up. So I'd just like to say thank you very much, everybody. I hope to improve in the future. I hope to get better videos up in the future, and all that's left to say is everybody ride safe. Bike Rider Reviews out.